Wow. Okay. I don't know where to start because I feel like, when you talk about a good story, sometimes it feels like it's the shortest thing. You feel like you've just gone through it. And sometimes you feel like, for me that has been on the journey of purpose, I feel like I'm watching a movie. And I hope that your life can be a movie at some point and be able to shoot a real movie out of it. Because
Yes.
you don't know what it will do to the next generation. This generation that you're mentoring right now, because you're a mentor, like it
Yes.
or not, know it or don't know it,
Yeah.
you are already a mentor to so many people.
Thank you.
And they would love to see, for example, you were talking about the wheelbarrow, holding the wheelbarrow and listening to that music, and clearly saw that on a big screen and people watching that, and just living knowing that, you know what, I don't have to wait for things to fall on my lap. I can start where I am and be the
Yes.
person that God called me to be. And I love the fact that your purpose has been moved, closely with God. I know there are so many people who are living their purpose who don't know that God, but God, being the infinite God, that He gave them the gift, He does not regret that He has given them the gift. He will still grow it, and He will still make them, beautiful people and very awesome people.
Yes.
But you living out your purpose in a close proximity and walk with God, that's really, really, really amazing. So let's talk about that breakthrough. Where do you, how did the breakthrough come? Where did it start?
Uh, just like um, just like you've said that you have to start somewhere. So I started to dance.
Yeah.
I remember.
Without being paid, not earning any money?
So what happened is when I saw people dance, I started to make research.
Okay.
Where do these people dance from?
How
Like
do they get paid?
how do they get paid? Where are the opportunities? And I don't remember who told me, but there was someone who told me, this dance you're doing is really good, great on weddings, you know. And so I started to ask, where are the weddings?
Where
Where
the
do they
wedding
happen?
meetings, yeah.
Where are the wedding meetings? And they told me they were at Centenary Park by then.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, all right. So I started to go to Centenary
You
Park.
dress up and bombard Centenary
Centenary Park
to
with
do what?
to look for jobs. So the
Okay.
thing is, I didn't have anything, not even a
Jesus.
video or what. So I just used to
You
go
present
and
yourself.
talk. I present myself, and people started to ask, "Where is what you do? We want to see.
want to see
You know, we want to see it."
Now,
And
you've
then,
not even known how to package yourself, how to do
exactly.
what,
So
but you're
I'm
like,
learning.
I am here.
Yes, I'm here. So they asked me that. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, all right. So how am I gonna get the video? And then I started to look for money to film something, a video.
Because then you need cameras.
Yes,
you
I need, now that's where the challenge came from. I need cameras, I need everything. So every time I could get some money and I collect some money, and then I start to look at the camera, it's not enough. But I'm like, okay, you know what, Jesus? This money, let it go to your church. Let it build
So
your church.
you would give it to
I'll
the
give
church.
it to the church.
You're
I'll
like,
give it
this
to
is
the
a seed. If it's not enough to be eaten,
yeah, by
it's
that
a
time
seed.
I'd now joined the church.
Okay.
215, that's when really I immersed myself in church.
God,
and
yeah.
I'm like, this is it. I'm going to be here no matter what.
Wow.
Let's go, God, you know. So at church, they used to tell us about building the church,
Yeah.
the tithe and all that, you know. So every time I could feel lost, I'm like, Father, this is small money. I don't know how I'm going to manage this. So until there was this one time, there was a show, High People Awards, so I started to ask, how do I get to perform on this show? Because by that time I heard about it when they're
The
announcing
hunger and the
the hunger, the zeal. Man,
know.
I really
Like you feel something is burning you. You're
something is
unsettled.
really
You have
burning.
to be
I'm
somewhere
so
doing
unsettled.
something.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I woke up in the morning. I started to look for that man, Innocent, and I went to his office. I told him, "Man, you don't know me. I don't know you, but I want to perform on your show." He asked me, "Okay,
What do you do?
what do you do?" I dance.
How does it look like?
How much would you want to be paid? I told him 500,000. He asked me, "Why am I paying you?" That man taught me a great lesson. He was the genesis of getting to know why people get paid. It's not about how good you are. You can be good, but there's extra things that come with you. That's why people pay you. So he asked me, why am I paying you? I told him, because I'm good. I'm going to show you a show and all that. And then he told me, okay, yeah. But I'm not going to pay you. But I'm going to give you a platform. I want you to dance with Samali Matovu. By that time, she had Omkwano Gunyuma. Tell that story. I've given you to her. Then I went and I told my dance partner, I told her, by that time I got a lady, she's called Sarah. I told her, you know what, Sarah, I want us to dance. They're not paying, but I'm going to find a way. How much do you want to be paid? She told me, well, because of you, I don't work for free. Because she told me I don't work for free. But pay me 100,000. Okay. I will do it for you. So I'm like, you know what, I have 100,000, but let's use the 20 for your costume. Okay. And the 80 I pay you. Okay. I didn't have the money, but I started to look for the money. I want to go and perform. Yeah. And then I looked for the money. I paid her, and then we went for the show. But before we went for that show, I told the guys, I started to look for the camera guys, police. Give me your numbers. No, the people who they hired to work on the show. Yes, so I started to look for them. Wisdom at its best. And get their numbers, got their numbers. Like I got like 3-4 people, and also Innocent himself. We came and performed. My goodness. One thing I loved about that video, all the media guys were here. So there were so many cameras
like you look like a Hollywood star that is dancing.
That's what happened.
Oh my
And
goodness.
when we performed after, I went after the show. The following day, Innocent called me and he told me, you know what, Val, come to my office. I'm paying you your money. Reason why I asked you those questions, I needed to know how hungry you were.
Oh my goodness.
That man just taught me something.
I don't know if you guys are getting the goosebumps, but I feel the goosebumps all over my body.
I wanted to know how hungry you are. This is the money you asked for. And people commented that your performance was the best that night. Wow. I was like,
God, you taught me how to dance. You have unveiled me. Not in a way that I thought, because you were looking for cameras to just dance somewhere,
film and
stage up and dance. But now you're in front of people, hundreds of people.
That melted my heart, but the focus. I needed a video.
I know. And you didn't lose that focus, because so many people on the journey of purpose lose the main thing, and they tend to fight for the small things. Exactly. They will fight for the money. And now if he had told you, okay, I'm not going to pay you, but come and dance, some of them feel I am too good to dance for free. And then they will walk away, not knowing that this is a doorway that is going to open up to so many things. And just the wisdom of running around. I can see you like a headless hen.
Yes.
You're running around getting contacts, and you're saying, after this, I need to be able to get in touch with you and be able to get this content.
I looked for the guys. I got my video. I edited it the way I wanted it. Now I went to.
You started looking for jobs again.
Exactly. Now then, people are like, oh, wow, this is nice. And the fact that it had all the media guys and the cameras, that was a plus.
I think some of them were like, but how much do you want us to pay you? You look so expensive.
Yes, so I started to work for 500,000, 700,000 to perform at weddings and all that. And every time I performed, I put my work on social media. I put it on Facebook. I put it on Facebook. Until this one time, they were going to do Rema's song, and they contacted us because they had seen work on the TV, on the Facebook, and that was when we went in. And I remember that time we choreographed, and when we choreographed, we reached on set. My prayer was this. Dear Lord.
Still, you're like, God, I'm not leaving you behind.
Yes.
We go everywhere with you.
Yes, I did. I think I really, the thing is, I really thank my church, Synagogue Church of All Nations. Our prophet teaches us how to really move with God every step of your way. Yeah, so I remember when we got that deal, I just prayed. I said, God, I've seen very many videos where they show dancers, so like it's not really focused on the dance, you know. But Father, just do this for us. So we danced, and after performing, they gave us our money, and I got my tithe off, and I'm like, Jesus, there's nothing I'm going to do with this money. to you, go to your house. I went and built for the God and gave my tithe. And I'm like, Father, I leave it all into your hands.
To your hands. Please let them not show their legs and...
Bahati, the day they premiered that video, I was in a car with a friend, and she was driving us to a dance place. And it was on social media.
Streaming live everywhere.
I looked like at this video. I received very many calls.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Like,
the exploding.
I couldn't believe it. And let me tell you one thing. I feel like I really thank God for the kind of knowledge and wisdom He gives me, because by then, when that video premiered, I was like, now this is it. Now this is my breakthrough. I must go with this.
I must ride on this.
Exactly. I rode on that video for 2 good years, and I was making money from that video.
Tell us how. Tell us how. Spill
Because
the tea.
That's what I used to just go and look for jobs at these places. And by that time, when they saw me, they were like, before I even speak, the people see me come to the
like,
meeting.
this is the guy.
They're like, this is the guy who danced within Rema's video. So when I tell them about the performance, it's now who the person who was performing for 500, 700. Now I went to 1 million, 1.5.
Wow.
I was like, yes,
Jesus, this walk with you.
Yes, so that's when now
The exploding
really exploded.
And when do you start traveling to practice your passion?
Okay, so that's an interesting story. So when I did Touch My Body, I did Django, and then that was another breakthrough. And when I did that, I was like, okay, now I need to do something that really brings the name to people to really understand what I do.
Okay.
And that's when I produced my show Dance with Valentino, and it aired. And by the time I finished that show, I was exhausted. Why? I was the choreographer, I was the host, I was the director. I was doing a lot of things. Why? Because people couldn't understand what was in my head.
Yeah.
So
and you needed to bring it to reality.
Exactly, to reality.
You were birthing this.
Exactly. So because, you know, in a country where people are very comfortable, people just love things that are
they will
just
do
simple.
Anything the way it's anyway.
The way, that's how it is, you know. Oh, that's like
compromise at every aspect.
I never wanted to do that, but by the time I was
you
done,
you had a picture in your mind how you wanted it to make it.
So I was exhausted, and by then I realized that actually even my dancing, because by that time now I'd set the level.
Yes,
because this was a show that I hosted really the big names in Uganda, so even people who are responsible started to see me, and then I'm like, okay, so I need to change the game. I need to step up. I need to go to a dance class. I need to go to a dance school. How do I do that? Prayer started. Nga bwendaba ennyonyi eyo eyita waggulu ng'ama Yesu njagala kubeera omwo. Yeah, so praying and all that and looking. I never stopped looking. Even now, I'm still...
You're hungry
all the time.
That hunger never goes away.
No, it never goes away.
Because that hunger only opens growth, more growth.
Exactly.
And sometimes it will not even be about the money, but the impact that comes out of it, and the influence that comes out of it, and the satisfaction and the fulfillment that you feel when you do this. So you start, because when someone, the reason as to why I asked you that, when do you start traveling, it's so easy for someone to see your journey and just make assumptions in their minds and just say, yeah, there's a post I put up today, and I said, I didn't have rich parents, I didn't have, but for me it has been God holding my hand and opening the doors for me. And secondly, it has been my showing up and consistently hungry that has caused me to go hunting and looking for more things in life. It's so easy for people, because most people have been looking at me and saying, for you, maybe you had a rich background, maybe they even look at me and say, maybe you've never even washed clothes, you even don't know how to cook, you even don't know how to. I know, but that's what God does.
Yes.
That He will never let us look like the smoke we have gone through or the fires that we have gone through, but He will refine us with time so we can be the vessels that, you know, He will use us for His glory. Because then when you give this, because this is a purpose journey, but it's also a testimony and a testament to what God can do when you place your hand, or when you place your gift in His hand and let you grow with it. Because I've followed you for quite a long time, and when I look at you, what you say is totally different from what the world is saying.
Yes.
When you say that at some point you prayed to even just travel, most people will think this is a rich kid, spoiled kid that has had all the resources at his disposal, and so he decided, I think you've had people say, like, this is luxury. Dancing, like, who does dance as a career? Not knowing that in each of us there's a deposit, and it's all different. We are all uniquely gifted and talented. And it's possible you will look at, maybe you would have looked at actors, just like you looked at actors and admired them and had the zeal to act. But maybe your breakthrough would never have come from acting. Exactly. You needed some springboard in your dancing that would even introduce you to acting, and it would pave a way. So I really want us to share some of the strong points and lessons that you feel you have gotten, because I know you're hungry. I know that you're going to even open chapters that no one has opened. And with your gift, it even gets sweeter as you grow older. I don't know whether you know that. Like, people tend to trust you more. People tend to want you more, to desire for you, and to want you involved in their things, even as you grow older. Because there is a journey that they have
an experience.
Yes, actually, it stops being a gift; it becomes an experience that everyone wants to experience. That part of the gift. What lessons would you tell to a young? Let me just ask this: what would you tell to your 20-year-old self, looking back? What would you tell him?
Wow. What would I tell my 20-year-old? Interesting question.
Because you've been through all this.
Yes.
And the 20-year-old, the 18-year-old, 20-year-old, 16-year-old has had so many questions. They had dreams. The young Valentino had dreams, but they didn't know how they would break even. They didn't know whether they would even come to pass. They didn't know. So now you are, here you are, and there are chapters in your life that have opened up that you never thought would open up. What would you tell him? Because then he has to move your journey. What would you tell him?
I think the first thing I would tell that person is, that young Valentino, is trust in God. And and when we say things, trust in God, some people take it lightly.
Yeah, very lightly.
But there's something you've said earlier of how you move and you're blindfolded. There's a video I watched on social media where a pastor blindfolded a lady and told her, move. And the lady reached the pulpit, and he asked her, how have you reached there? Because I listened to you. I trusted you. I had, I knew that you wouldn't lead me to a wrong place.
You had the best interest at heart.
That video changed my life.
Wow.
That was the time I really started to hold things as a madman. Because even me traveling, my first time traveling to London, it was, okay, there is this and that and that and that. Because for me, ever since I was young, I never wanted to travel just to travel. Yeah. I wanted to travel for a purpose.
A reason, yeah.
And I really thank God for that. Even when it comes to work, I just don't feature in any video. Yeah. I want to feature there for a reason, a purpose. Why am I there? What story am I telling? So I went to London, and it was just like a madman. But the blessing I've received in London, even dancers that have danced very many years, and they are in London,
they have not received it.
That's the grace of God.
Yeah.
There is when you really, really trust Him and just Katonda wange byonna bitwale bimanyi, do your part. Yeah. The thing is, some people in Christ, you have to do your part. You have a responsibility yourself to do.
Yes.
You need to take all the steps. Yes. So I would tell that my young Valentino that please trust in God,
with
hold Him with
all
all
your
your heart, and everything is going to be okay.
And He will direct. Wow.
Yes, so I think generally for me, what I know the things I've gone through, the being hungry and all that, but the biggest highlight in my life has been trusting in God.
Trusting the Lord. And now it dawns on me that when He says trust the Lord with all your heart and He will direct, when someone is directing, they're not walking the journey for you. You are actually walking. They are directing.
Yeah.
Now, most Christians want God to do the whole thing. They don't want to be directed. They want just the miracles to happen. But the biggest miracles is when God walks with you step by step and He leads you to a path that He has predestined. And He directs you and you listen to Him.
When you say that, there's something I remembered. I was given prophecy in our church in 2016. And this prophecy was ridiculous because by that time you would never ever think that person would be that, you know. But there are very many steps that have happened in my life and the mountain seems too big.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
like it would never happen.
Yes, too big. And what has always come back to my head is remember that prophecy. So if you're going to achieve that, that's a mountain you must take.
Climb. It's an uphill task.
It's not just
it's not a slope.
Yeah.
No.
So it's just that whole thing that when He leads you, He led me by the prophecy.
Wow.
This is the prophecy.
He drew
this
a
is
bigger picture.
Exactly, the bigger picture. And now when everything happens,
I said, until you get here, don't think you will never arrive.
Exactly. So it's just that path I'm really following and really leading me, and I really thank God for that.
Wow.
Because I was hungry for it.
Yeah.
You know, being a person who grew up that at some point when I broke out of school, I was 13 and I didn't have any guidance. By then, now my life was just me and myself and God.
Yeah. And
So
the cows.
Yes,
and the wheelbarrows.
You know, and there isn't
God.
anyone to really
I know.
tell you
to put you together,
yes,
to tell you there is anything called a purpose.
I'm telling you, when I see Abantu, some guys above Deco,
Yeah.
I'm like, I humble myself. I'm like, who am I?
I know.
At 13,
Could only be God to keep me.
Exactly. At 13, I used to buy my everything.
Yeah.
I needed to look for money, walk to different places, look for opportunities. I reached a point when I'm like, okay, so I have my proposals. Where do I get investors? I go and knock to different offices. There's a time I was even at NSSF and I knocked. I'm like, I have my concept, this and this. And it's crazy. Like,
so you're like, what was I thinking? I used to move like a mad person.
Exactly. Yeah. But just that confidence that God put in me that I've met different people, but it was through just faith.
But you're not content.
Yes, I'm not content when I'm saying no to just the grace to pick myself up, and I'm like,
and look for another opportunity. Knock on another door.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. You guys, if you don't learn from this, if you don't pick anything from this, and I love the fact that this is not just to the people that are trying to unveil and discover their purpose in God, but this goes to the parents as well. In this generation, I think so many parents have created the simplest life for their children, and then it has been so hard for them to find themselves. Really. They have actually gotten lost in the bread and the blue band and the and the soft life. Everyone is a soft life these days, but let me tell you, the soft life is good when God has gotten you somewhere. And by the way, it ceases to be a purposeless soft life, but it becomes a purposeful soft life. That every investment you're making right now, you are making it carefully, you are calculating, and you know where you want to go. You lift your foot and put one foot in front of the other every day. You don't sleep. Like, there's so many people, I don't know whether you've seen that problem in our days, that people want to sleep. Like, sleep.
Yeah, sleep.
They're given something to do. They're not self-driven. There's no motivation. And then they feel they're going to pick up motivation from motivational speakers.
Exactly.
I don't think that's going to work. If the urge is not inside of you, no motivational speaker is going to move your spirit to doing a thing.
Yeah, and as we said earlier before we came on the camera, this generation is really tough. It's exactly like how you look at someone and what they say, what they think, their perception about life. You're like, wow. Where are you headed?
Where are you headed? I'm even terrified for you.
Yes,
I don't know whether you will.
And the reason why you get terrified is that all the facts that life happens. Life, you know, life will put you in the right direction, but you know, are you prepared for it? You know, are you prepared?
Are you willing to seize the moment?
Exactly. You know, oh, it's gonna be now depression, and you really go down.
Actually,
completely.
the highest rates of depression that are coming right now and the suicidal, and I know that we're being chased away from here. It can never be enough time. I feel like I want to have a whole day with Valentino and just explore the possibilities of purpose finding and God unveiling this purpose in our lives, and us reaching a moment where he talked about monetization, so I'm not going to ask him about monetization, that he knew that I'm never going to be paid just for being me and showing up and being good, but there's so many other aspects. There's value that you have to bring, that you have to add to every place that you go to, and I can't thank God enough for us having this chat today. I know that it's going to be life-changing, not only for this generation, but even people who will watch this 10 years from now and 20 years from now. History has been written that a man started from zero and he is rising and steadily rising and trusting God every step of the way. That's a beautiful journey to tell. Yes. So thank you so much. We really appreciate, and thank you so much for all of you that have come on this journey with us. In case you have any questions, go to his page. I mean, he has beautiful things, Dance with Valentino, and all the beautiful things that he has prepared for parents. He has holiday packages even for children. I know Ariella loves dancing, so Ariella is definitely going to sign on to make sure that she gets some of her dancing grooves. This is one way of finding purpose. If you can see what he has done in his lifetime and what he is about to do, that means this is something that is viable, and this is something that someone can do as a career, and this is something someone can be fulfilled. It's not about being doctors and lawyers and judges, and those are good, but we have opened another arena of so many things that people can be able to do, and he's a living testament. So make sure that you hook into it, find your purpose, practice it, go dance. Dancing can even help you lose weight. I'm also going to dance and keep fit. I'm going to try that out. Yes, but thank you so much. We love you, and from us to you is a great time.
Bless you.
Yeah.